Hello, my powerful posse, and welcome back to Purple RX, my channel. I'm Renata, your friendly and resourceful PharmD, here to help you navigate this health and wellness world with all this information, with people telling you this is better, this needs to go, this is best for you, when this is just information to help you find out what works best for you and what works for your body and how to navigate that. So today, it's Wednesday, so today is Weed Wednesdays, and we are going to go into what is the best form, or what do we see as the best form and reason why it's the best form and long-term use of weed, marijuana, THC, CBD, and those. Hemp is really not really in this because usually hemp is more in an oil, or they use the seed, or they turn it into a powder. So those are the forms you're going to get. But in weed, there's so many forms out there, and everybody's saying this one's better, this one doesn't do enough, and people are scared of edibles, and there's so many things that come at you that you're like, should I even try this? So what are we going to look at? We're going to look at why are these better forms, what is the long-term effects of the use, and if that's going to fit you and fit your lifestyle and fit how you roll. So number one that people know, smoking. Everybody knows weed. Roll it in a joint, roll it in a blunt, roll it in rolling paper, whether that's hemp paper, rice paper. There's so many papers out there. There's so many different papers. You can also use vapes that use oil and have terpenes, or there's also vapes that use actual both terpene and oil, or they use actual flour where you can grind up your flour and put it actually in the machine and vape from that. You'll find packs and a few other models that are like that. There's pipes, there are glass pipes, there are, like I said, there's an old school vaporizer where you put it up in a balloon and take a puff out of a balloon, which can be really intense, and all you need is one puff of that. So smoking is one of the quickest ways to get high, or to get the effects of the high, whether it's for pain, for if you have multiple sclerosis, if you're having anxiety, if you're dealing with seizures, any of those disorders or any of those issues that you are coming into, smoking could be a quick, effective, and easy way to get what you need. It's quite immediate once it touches your lips and you inhale. It's pretty immediate. Probably in the next 5 minutes you should be getting high. Some people don't feel it immediately if they've never been high, or if they're not, but in the next few minutes you should be pretty much high. It's 15 minutes or less. It's quite immediate, because immediately it goes to the brain, it goes through your system, and it hits your blood system because of the smoke. So you're going to get an immediate high. You're going to get a great immediate high when you're smoking. It's going to be more of a quick, effective one. So a lot of people choose that because they want something quick, easy. All you have to do is grind it up, roll it in papers, or put a little dab or something like that, and you've got it. You're ready to hit up and you're ready to get it. Not everybody is down to make edibles or do anything else. So a lot of people just go and get the flour and they grind the flour up and smoke it. And whether it's, like I said, whether it's their machine, their papers, their blunts, whatever. It's quick and effective, but there are downsides to long-term use of smoking. If you're smoking every once in a while, okay. Always going to be harmful to the lungs. Smoking is harmful to the lungs, period. No matter if it's tobacco, marijuana, crack, whatever it is, it's going to be harmful to your lungs. Bringing smoke into your lungs, it's going to irritate the lungs, the esophagus. It's going to irritate all that. So you're more likely to have lung cancers later on in your life if you're going to continue to do that every day. An irritated esophagus because you're smoking every day. Because think about this, when you're smoking, when I say you're irritating, so you start inflaming that epithelial tissue that is right in your lungs, or that's even in the tissues of your esophagus. And so if it's irritated every day, and every day it's trying to find a way to not be so irritated, mucus is a natural reaction for the body to protect itself. So now you're going to get a whole lot more mucus within your lungs, within your esophagus, and in those areas. And that can end up allowing you to have so much more issues, like I said, bronchitis, lung cancer, issues like with your esophagus, with the swelling of your esophagus being red and it hurting, and cancers coming in because you're, again, irritating those cells, and those cells are trying to rapidly heal themselves. They're rapidly trying to heal and correct what we are doing to our body. So smoking, long-term use is not the greatest. quick, yes, you're going to get a quick high, you're going to get a quick effectiveness to get the pain that you need, to get whatever psychoactive effect that you need. It also can be more irritating to the stomach, because as you smoke over time, it is going to, like I said, go through the esophagus, go through the acids of your stomach, and add irritation to it. A lot more people are coming into stomach issues, and it's not just from smoking, it's from having too much of an excess of weed, and that excess of weed affecting their stomach and having more of a hyperemesis, where your stomach is very hyper irritated. So it's allowing you to have nausea and vomiting and irritation in the stomach, and it's just continuous. So not just the smoking it long term can really and truly have those effects. And like I said, even though it's the immediate and it's one of the fastest ones, it is not the only fastest one, and is not something to be slept on. And it doesn't have to be your only choice. It doesn't have to be your only choice to go. Now, edibles. Everybody, well, people I know are not down for edibles. They're not down to just to deal with it because they've had an edible and they've had a bad experience from that edible. One, if you're not a regular smoker, or if you're not somebody who's taken edibles before or even dabbled in marijuana or cannabinoids at all, I would suggest that if you're going to start an edible, start small. Start in 2.5 milligrams, start in 5 milligrams, start in those smaller rings, or even start even less than that, because the way edibles work, it's going to take a longer effect. So it takes probably about 30 minutes to about an hour and a half for it really to start taking effect and you to see the onset, because it has to go through your digestive system. And then when the oils are broken down, because most of the time when it's in an edible, it's in a tincture or oil. And when those are broken down, then it has to go through your whole system and go through the bloodstream, and then you feel the effects. So you're going to get peak effects probably in about 2 to 4 hours. So it's going to take a while. And a lot of times the edibles are so edible that people want to eat more, because if the cookie's good, if the brownie's good, if the gummies are good, if the sucker, whatever you're taking is really good or it's tasty, and you're not really thinking that this has, or I can't taste the marijuana in this has all this, you might go to extremes and eat more than you should eat. And you should know what you're eating. If you're buying from somebody and they don't know how much is in each brownie, then you don't need to deal with it. If you're buying from somebody and they don't even know what kind of weed is in that brownie, because there's sativa and indica, and then there's also combos. And when there becomes combos, one may not work best with you. You may not be a person that can handle sativa, or you may not be a person that can handle indica, which is allowing you to be, as they say, in the couch. You may not be able to handle that kind of high. And with those, and with being so new to those things, then you're going to have to deal with, maybe I ate too much of this edible, and then comes the paranoia, the anxiety, and the worry, because maybe you've taken a strain that is not great for you. Maybe you've also taken an edible, taking too much of the edible and thought you were comfortable because, oh, this edible tastes good. Trust. I roll with friends, and I had friends that did, and I was like, oh, maybe you want to stop, maybe you want to slow down. And also sometimes the effects can last a really long time. They say 4 to 12 hours, but I've had effects last longer than that. I've taken it before and had an edible, and it lasted like a couple of days or a whole weekend. I was going in waves, in and out of waves, because again, this is dealing with your digestive system. And as your body starts to store stuff, because it may not need that, because maybe you go on eating something else, then it will release more and more over time. So it can go through waves with edibles. And those edibles that you're really going to have to think and worry about are gummies, cookies, and brownies. So when you're going through those things and you're looking at those things, think about how long, what effects you want, how quick you want those effects, and if you want those effects to come in wave. If you're looking for a long-term kind of pain cessation, I would say edibles would work great, because, like I said, they do last so long, and you don't have to worry about the effects of that come from it from smoking. You may have to worry about effects of sugar and how much you're intaking with the calories and the cookies of the brownie and all those things. But for the most part, it's not like you have to worry about some of the effects that smoking can have on your body, on long-term effects and long-term use. And again, This is still being studied, and it can only be studied in limited ways because it has not been federally approved for us to just study, for doctors to study all around. And again, the start of this was political, racial, it was everything. So it's going to limit us, and it's limited the use that we can use and extract what we need to extract from this plant, or grow better hybrids, or grow better combos, and grow maybe healthier combos. So now there's another kind of edible. There's edibles such as suckers or lollipops. You'll also have lozenges. Those are going to be a little bit different than gummies or cookies or brownies, because with those can immediately get into your bloodstream so much quicker, because when you're sucking on something, the effects of it in your mouth, it doesn't really have to go through the digestive system, because you are sucking on almost basically and making it liquid. So the actual marijuana that's in there is going to be either sublingually, so it's going to go under your tongue, because you see all these veins, excuse me for opening my mouth, but I want to show as an example. Under your tongue, you have all these veins, and in that system, that is more of a sublingual area, which it'll go straight to your bloodstream. Also in your cheek, buccally, within your cheek, you have a bloodstream within here. So that's why when you get lozenges and when you have suckers, you're going to feel immediate effects of those, because those don't really have to be broken down by your metabolism or any of your system. So that would be easier and more effective to get what you need and stay in the body. And it still will stay in the body about 4 to 12 hours, depending on which system it is. Tinctures, being in, like I said, most lollipops and suckers and lozenges are most likely going to be in tinctures, which are quick and effective. So that is a good system. Have a little lollipop and maybe only eat half the lollipop. Again, when you're buying these from people, know your source, know who you're dealing with, know if they know how much they're putting in, know if they know which strain they're putting into these, know if that strain is this percentage of that and this percentage of sativa or indica. They should know what reputable grower they're coming from. Get with somebody that knows what they're dealing with, and that knows what's in this and where it's come from and where it's grown from, because that allows you to have a more effective look, especially in the market that we're in right now, because the market is very uncontrolled. And there's nothing wrong with uncontrolled, but in uncontrolled, you'll find variations of great ones and variations of, this may be okay. So that's something also to think about. So if you're wanting something quick in edibles, like I said, suckers, lollipops, lozenges, those work great. Also, there are now transdermal patches. So, those patches, I know people think about fentanyl patches, but those patches that you put on, there's also transdermal patches, nicotine patches. So there's now some in THC and CBD, especially for those with pain. And those will be in more so, those go straight to the bloodstream, because of course they go on your epithelial cells, which is your skin cells, and they get that top layer, and in that top layer you have your bloodstream within that top layer. So that allows it to get into your blood system and to go around. But the thing with transderm patches is it depends on how much muscle and how much fat you have in this area. Those with smaller body weights, it's going to take a little bit less for it to get into their system. If you're going to have a little bit more body fat, a little bit more topical fat, you might need a little bit higher dose. And usually most of the time it's like 5 milligrams per hour. It gives it so much per hour or so much per day. And those patches probably last about 3 days. Most patches last about 3 days. The ones that I've seen, I think, have lasted about 1, but a lot of them some of them will last about 3 days. So that is only going to be for, like I said, a localized area, and it will give some psychoactive effects, but it's not all psychoactive effects and as strong as psychoactive effects as smoking or edibles or tinctures. But if you are, like I said, if you are a person dealing with pain, if you are a person who's dealing with cancer, like a lymphatic cancer, like my uncle, or your cancer has gone to the lymphatic system, like when my uncle had it, your skin and your body feels, he went through a thing where his skin and his body felt really weird and really achy. it was like the top of his skin and the top of his, it felt really achy because of it had gone through his whole lymphatic system, which follows your blood system, is a little bit and is more, even more intricate. And within that, so it's going to be all over your body. Transdermal patches are great for patients like those. And it's great for people like those. So if you have a family member that is going through cancer, that has any of those issues, that'd be something that might be great for them. But you may need higher doses. There's also tinctures. Tinctures are something that are being used, and tinctures is an alcohol-based mixture. So basically, the marijuana is infused into alcohol, but it's infused at more of a concentrated method. So you're not getting so much alcohol, you're getting a whole lot more THC. And there will still be alcohol there, but it won't be as effective. So most of the time, again, this tinctures, the best way that they're going to be taken is under your tongue and buccally. And when you put it in your cheek area and under your tongue, you're, again, going to bypass your metabolism. So it's going to be quicker and effective. It should probably be about as effective as, almost as effective as smoking. 15 minutes or less, you should be able to get that feeling. In tinctures, as well as smoking, as well as the edible lollipops and lozenges, because those are going to be highly effective in those areas, and you'll be able to feel the effects very quickly. And the thing about tinctures to make take a while to make. So I know a lot of people aren't making these at home. So when you're going out to buy tinctures and you're going out to buy these, make sure you know what alcohol base they're using and what their ratios were. Also, make sure you know, again, make sure you know the milligram strength. Make sure you know the that if it does have CBD in it along with the THC, those are going to be great combinations. Because also when you're smoking or taking edibles or transdermals or any of this, the most effective ones are going to be not just THC, but THC with a little CBD, especially if you're a person that gets paranoia, especially if you're a person that a high dose may get you paranoid, or some even small dose may get you paranoid or worried. You may need a combination of THC and CBD, because that is going to be more of balancing out. So when you're looking for something, if that's something you want to speak about, ask for full spectrum. Ask for something that's full spectrum, whether it's in tincture, whether it's in smoking, whether it's in an edible. Ask for something that is going to be full spectrum, which means it's going to have the THC, CBD, and even a little hemp in there, which means you will get full effects, healing effects, calming effects, as well as those arousal effects, whether it's sativa makes you a little bit more active. And when I say active, sometimes it can make you think and focus a little bit more. It depends. Everything is different for every person. And that's why more studies need to be had on these actual herbs. So after tinctures, we have sublinguals. So I talk about suckers and lollipops and lozenges, but there's also a sublingual that's new out. That's almost like, remember the Listerine, the little Listerine things that you put on your tongue and it just dissolves? Well, there's also now little films that you can put under your tongue or put in the side of your cheek, and it dissolves, and it has marijuana in it. And those are going to allow for so much of a quicker, it's going to be very close to smoking. So your effects will be 15 minutes or less, because it'll be so effective, because it's already dissolved and it's dissolving straight into your bloodstream without having to go into your actual metabolism, into your actual system to be broken down, brought that place, and do all that. So sublinguals are going to be quick, easy, effective. And that's something that you should look into. I'll see if I will link some sources of some sublinguals or what they look like. Actually, I may not link them because I'm not sure if they'll be out. We're in Texas right now, so wherever you at, but I'll work on linking it to show where you can go find it and how effective it is and what it looks like. Now, sublinguals, like I said, they're great for those who, everybody has a choice. Whether I say these for health reasons, you're going to want to get high. You're going to want to do your thing. Do this, be safe with it. So always know your milligram strength. Know what you can handle. Know what your limits are. Know what your lower limits are. Start small. Start from 2.5 to 5 milligrams. You don't need to start heavy. If you're somebody who is, like I said, has cancer, Parkinson's, epilepsy, any of those, if you're looking at those, sublinguals will be quick and effective for you, especially if you've maybe taken an edible and it's one of those downtimes, or even without an edible, just to be quick and effective to help with the pain that you might be going through. Because that sublingual will last for a good little while within your system. It should last up to 4 hours, 4 to 12 hours. It all depends on every person. It depends. Every person's body is different. Every person's body, it processes it out differently because, yes, you urinate things out, but some people's are quicker than others. Some people, marijuana has been known to depot into the fat and into the fat areas because that's what it's attracted to. So sometimes it can stay longer in other people, especially when you're taking something that's edible. It'll stay and then it'll come out and it'll stay and it'll release. So that's why people have a hard time with edibles sometimes, because it feels like a roller coaster to them and they have no control. Like they think they're calm and relaxed and then boom, it comes again. So those are things that people worry about. But like I said, if you pick something that is full spectrum, so make sure you have THC and CBD in there, that will allow to have more calmer effects. You will get the pains, you'll get pain subsiding, as well as you'll get the full effects THC and CBD. So you'll be calm, yet you'll be relaxed. I know it's calm, relaxing, and it'll balance your body out. Like if you're too high, CBD allows you to come down and take away those psychoactive effects, because sometimes it can be a lot for somebody. So last one I'd say is topicals. So topicals include creams, lotions, gels, a salve. I've seen salves that work, ointments. Those are mainly for like localized use, kind of like your transdermal patches are really for the whole body, but they're more for your localized use. Your more like knee pain, back pain, shoulder pain, those have helped a lot. Like I said, that was something I gave a lot to my uncle while he was going through his situation, while he was going through his dying process through cancer. And it's something that really helped him. Like when I rubbed his body down with cream, some of them will have menthol because those are also immediate effects, while the relaxing effects of CBD or THC come into your body. So those are more for localized. Those you're not really going to get any psychoactive properties from those, because those will mainly go to your bloodstream and actually are great for the pain, great for your body pain, great for wherever you're deciding to put it, neck, chest. Those are all going to be places that are great for lotions and for creams. And if your body is aching, even if it's muscle aches and aches from working out or pain from that or pain from an injury, those are going to be helpful. These are all just great alternatives so that you don't have to deal with opiates and other pain-killing drugs that you may not want to deal with. Marijuana is just another avenue, and it's something that's great, that's worked for some people. Again, marijuana doesn't work for everybody. If you tried it and it hasn't been great for you, I'm not going to force you to do it. But if you've also tried it and you still think that maybe it might be effective for you because you're on pain meds or something else, dabble in it. Ask somebody. You can ask me questions. I'm here to answer whatever question you have, point you in the right direction of where to go, who to deal with, what it should look like, and maybe you should have, and how you should look at full spectrum and what that full spectrum should look like in order for you to get the full effects. Because even in Texas, we do have people that have full spectrum. I'll actually link those online, that are gummies that are full spectrum, that have, yes, they're high amounts of CBD, but they have some THC in them. And that full spectrum is going to be more effective for pain as well as your mood and emotions. And it'll help to balance out the effects of THC sometimes that not many people are able to handle or deal with. Or those can be hard to deal with, especially if you're a person that's highly in control within your brain, or has a hard time with the effects of the psychoactive effects of marijuana. So thank you guys for joining me. It is Weed Wednesdays, just here to hit you up, talking about edibles, talking about the best way. So in my opinion, I want to hit you up with the best way is not going to be smoking. Smoking is highly effective and it's quick. But smoking has so many long-term effects, especially if you're a person with asthma, bronchitis, or any lung or issues. You could end up getting COPD, and that's something you don't want to deal with later in your life, especially if you're trying to use this for pain or even recreational use. I would suggest edibles, and try edibles such as suckers or lozenges, lollipops, or even trying sublinguals will do or tinctures will be so much better, because then you can put it in even drinking a tea. Drinking a tea is going to be more like edibles. So you can get a tea bag with marijuana that might be more effective for you and might be more helpful for you. Or you can get a tincture and put it in your little tea or in your drink and just put a couple of drops, and you can microdose. Microdosing has been highly effective for some people. So this is about navigating and seeing what exactly, how I can roll in this, because there's something for everybody here, or everybody that wants to deal with pain or has another issue but doesn't want to deal with all the psychoactive effects that may come with marijuana. There are ways around that, and there are ways that you don't always have to deal with those effects, like topicals or transderm patches and things like that. So if you have any questions about where to get it, how to get it, what it is, and how to know which one is better for you, hit me up in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Please, I'm trying to get this out there. People really need to know how to come about this weed game, because everybody's out here just selling it like it's water. And everybody's out here just like, I got edibles, I got this, I got that. And some people don't even know exactly what they're selling, how many milligrams they have in it, or they may know the milligram strength, but they don't know exactly what they have in there, or what the butter was made out of, or what the oil was made out of, because those are other ways that you're going to get it. You can also cook it. You can cook it. You can buy your own butter and own oil from somebody who knows how to make it, and buy that butter and oil and make your own food, make your own pancakes, or however you'd like to dose it when you dose it, and dose it so small, so that, and know that how much ever tablespoon or whatever you're getting is the right amount. Because some people out here just selling hope dreams, and you may get higher than you want to get, because they told you it was 10 milligrams and it's really like 20 to 100. So please be safe out there. Be cautious. Ask questions. Ask me questions. Like I said, I'm here to guide and direct you in that place. That is what my whole job is about. That's all I'm here for. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Please hit that notification button and ask as many questions or as many concerns or whatever comments you have, leave them below. Thank you, guys.